Last Saturday, Florida's special teams were the difference. Tim Polk blocked his second punt of the season. And Stacy Simmons' electrifying 85-yard kickoff return for a touchdown led the Gators past the Ole Miss Rebels 27-15. Today, Florida goes for win number 3 against Indiana State University. From Florida Field and the campus of the University of Florida, Sports Channel Florida presents University of Florida football. Today, the Indiana State Sycamores take on the Gators from the University of Florida. Florida football is brought to you by Dairy Farmers Incorporated, producers of real Florida fresh milk. By First Union Bank, new banking power for you. And by Scotty's, serving Florida with more than 150 convenient locations. You've got to get to Scotty's now. Hi, everybody. Along with Jim Yarbrough, Pete Van Weren welcoming you to Florida Field, home of the Gators, for Game 3 of the 1988 season. Florida taking on Indiana State, their second Division I AA opponent of the year. Not going to be quite as easy this time, though, Jim, I don't think anyway, as it was against Montana State in the season opener.
No, I think not. Indiana State has an excellent program. The Gators, remember, or at least the coaches have been preaching all week. Remember when Indiana State came to Gainesville in 1983, they could have won the game, Pete, with a pass in the end zone late in the ball game that was knocked down for an incomplete pass. But Indiana State had a great chance to beat a very good University of Florida team in 1983. So I don't think the Gators will be psychologically upset today. They'll be prepared mentally for Indiana State.
First 2 games of the season, everything has really clicked for Florida. The offenses look pretty good. The defenses look pretty good. But, Jim, you have one area that you feel needs a little looking at here this afternoon.
Well, I think the fans, and the word in the street is that the Gator fans are a little concerned about the play of the cornerbacks. All the other positions on the team relative to the play of the cornerbacks deserve maybe a straight-A performance. The defense as a team has played well, the offense, the specialty teams. But there is some concern about the cornerback position, and for the first time this season, you're seeing a post offense attack, a multiple attack by Indiana State. So they're probably going to put that football in the air. Kerry Watkins is going to be back in action this afternoon. When the Gators recruited Kerry Watkins, they thought this young man had the potential to be an All-American, and I still think he possibly does, but he's yet to perform to his full capabilities. So most of the fans are going to be concentrating on the play of the secondary. Of course, you got the Rock of Gibraltar with Louis Oliver in the middle.
Okay, we'll be back with the opening kickoff and all the action from Florida Field right after these words. For the opening kickoff from Florida Field, Florida kicking off to Indiana State, John David Francis, who has done a good job as the place kicker for the Gators, getting ready to get this game underway.
Pete, the Gators did win the toss, but waived the right to make a decision to the second half. So Indiana State said, we will take the football.
Steve Elmlinger, number 7, John Story, number 20, the 2 deep backs for Indiana State. Elmlinger last week returned a kickoff 94 yards, but didn't score. He was stopped at the 1-yard line.
Probably ran out of gas.
It's a warm, sunny afternoon, a near-capacity crowd. We're underway. This will be Story at about the 2-yard line, handing it off to Elmlinger, and Elmlinger is going to be brought down. Good special play again at the 12-yard line. Brad Culpepper, number 50, making the stop for the Gators.
Owen Bartroff also helping out.
A 10-yard return on that opening kickoff. Here's the way the Sycamores line up offensively. John Somm, who's been injury-plagued but is a very good quarterback, sparks the offense. He likes to throw the ball. The offensive line, young, not that big, said to be very quick. First down, the ball just shy of the Indiana State 13. Somm back to throw on first down. And the pass is incomplete. The intended receiver, Chris Johnson, number 82. A look at the Gator defense. That defensive line beginning to attract a lot of attention nationally. The linebacker, a very deep linebacker core, Joey Nicoletto, has led the club in tackles over the first 2 games. And the defensive backfield, same 4 starters this week. But as Jim mentioned on the open, we may be seeing a lot of Kerry Watkins before the day is over.
Kerry was ineligible for the Gators' first 2 ball games, and we'll see some action today for the first time this season.
Second down and 10. The handoff is to Vactor. And the little tailback has some running room all the way out to the 32-yard line for a first down. Lewis Oliver finally brought him down after a 20-yard gain. Vactor gained 142 yards in the season opener against Salem College. That's an NAIA school, which was won by Indiana State 38-17. There you see what Vactor's numbers were a year ago.
Very healthy per carry average, almost 5 yards per carry on the average for Vactor.
It's a first down at the Indiana State 32-yard line.
Psychologically, that's a great start for the Sycamores to come out here against the University of Florida, get a first down immediately.
Som barks out the signals, handing off to Vactor again, and Vactor this time gets up to about the 35-yard line. Trace Armstrong, number 93, tripped him up after a gain of about 2. It'll be second down and 8. Everybody expecting Indiana State to throw the ball as you look at John Som's numbers from last year. That's what he did last week in only part of a ball game. He didn't play the whole game last week. Kyle Frondorf also played some at quarterback for the Sycamores. Second down and 8. Som back to throw. Firing long downfield. The pass incomplete. The intended receiver, Steve Elmlinger. And back on the coverage, the right cornerback, Richard Fain. Let's go down to the field now. Larry Vittel standing by on the Gator sideline. Larry?
Well, Pete, we expected Indiana State to come out throwing. They're mixing it up a little bit now, but that Gators secondary is really going to be challenged as the game goes along today. A guy to watch, number 4, Kerry Watkins, hasn't played for 2 weeks. He may get a chance to reclaim a job sometime this afternoon.
Third down and 8. The ball just shy of the 35-yard line. John Som. Inside handoff to Vactor. And Vactor has another Indiana State first down out across the 45-yard line. Pat Moore, number 45, making the tackle. We do have a penalty marker down, a 14-yard gain on the play.
Pete, what the Sycamores are doing are using the threat of the 3 wide receivers, the threat of the passing game, to set up their running game. They've had 2 excellent runs, both with a little bit of draw action. That particular play was out of the shotgun formation.
And we've got a flag down. This call's going against Indiana State.
Mark Marshall does a bit of a tackling job up front for the Sycamores, and the flag is thrown. Unfortunately for the Sycamores, a very nice play is brought back.
They walk it off, mark the ball at the 25-yard line. It'll still be third down. Third and about 18. Elmlinger in motion for Indiana State. The pass is caught by Elmlinger, and he is caught immediately at the 26-yard line by the strong safety, Bill Lang, who was right there for the tackle.
Bill Lang, the senior from Castleberry Lake Howell High School, which is a suburb of Orlando, refuses to get knocked down right here. 2 Sycamores are responsible for Lang. He avoids both of them to come up with a tackle on Elmlinger.
Another penalty flag down against Indiana State. It's a motion penalty. It'll be refused by the Gators as it's now fourth down.
Physically, the Sycamores did a very nice job in their first possession. It's just a couple of mental errors. They had some penalties, literally killed that drive right there, but they did look impressive on their first possession.
Rob Hufty handles both the punting and the place kicking for Indiana State.
New philosophy for the Gators this year: threaten the punting attack of the opponent. They have 10 men near the line of scrimmage right now. The kicking team has no idea whether the Gators will in fact rush or set up a return, and Stacy Simmons, who is so dangerous, is back to receive the punt.
The Gators have blocked a punt in each of their first 2 games. This time Hufty gets off a pretty good kick all the way to the 34-yard line where Stacy Simmons has it. Simmons eludes one tackle, but is brought down at the 44-yard line. The tackle made by Mark Marshall, number 50.
Marshall saved a big gain there. Stacy Simmons was on his way to the goal line, I think, but Mark Marshall comes up with a big play.
That was a 40-yard kick by Hufty, and Kyle Morris in to take over the Gator attack now. Good field position on their own 44-yard line. back to throw on first down. Morris gets it complete to Lomack. Lomack out across midfield, close to the first down, down near the 45-yard line. Levent Blaylock, number 2, the cornerback who is supposed to be the outstanding defensive back on this Indiana State team, making the tackle. Morris, Smith. Looks like Willie McGrady is down there starting in place of Cedric Smith today at fullback. There's the offensive line anchored by David Williams.
I met some fans in Jackson, Mississippi last weekend, and their nickname for McGrady was Steamboat.
It's a well-deserved nickname. Cedric Smith had some bruised ribs. They do have enough for the first down.
Walker went in again. He had 3 touchdowns in the
lineup.
As you mentioned, Pete, excellent field position for the University of Florida right now. They're inside Sycamore territory on their very first possession.
First down at the Indiana State 45. Kyle Morris back to throw on first down. And this pass caught by the tight end McGriff. Mark McGriff for another 10-yard gain. Ken Hopp, number 40, making the stop for the Sycamores.
A very well-designed play. This is a tight end delay. Mark McGriff is going to fake the block at the line of scrimmage, then sneaks out for the reception.
A look at the Sycamores defensively. There's their front 3. Antoine Liddell, the man to watch in that linebacking core. Levent Blaylock, the man to watch in that defensive backfield. Another first down for the Gators. Morris back to throw again. Firing long downfield. This one will drop incomplete. The intended receiver was Ernie Mills. And Levent Blaylock back in the coverage for Indiana State.
Blaylock did a tremendous job right there. He knocked Ernie Mills out of bounds. Ernie Mills was not allowed to come back in and make the reception. A very headsy play by Blaylock, the corner, number 2.
You can see what Kyle Morris would like to get doing in this first quarter. He started slowly in each of the first 2 games. He'd like to get some early confidence. He's completed 2 out of 3. Second down and 10. Another spread formation by the Gators. Morris back to throw again. Good reception, but right there for the tackle is Blaylock. A correction, Crutchfield. Walter Crutchfield, number 9, a junior safety out of Silver Spring, Maryland, after a 4-yard gain.
The fans are booing. They thought there might be some pass interference right here. Blaylock gets there a little bit early, but Emmett Smith, being the athlete that he is, comes up with the catch anyway.
Call it a gain of 4. It'll be 3rd down and 6 at the Sycamore 31-yard line. Morris back to throw again. He's had good protection back there. This pass, though, incomplete. Stacy Simmons, the intended receiver. Donald Cox, the right cornerback, number 45, back in the coverage.
Gators just a little shaky at this moment with their passing attack. The Sycamores did a nice job of preventing the reception, and the Gators are forced to try for the 3.
This one will come from the 37-yard line. It'll be a 47-yard attempt by John David Francis. His longest of the year has been a 41-yarder. So he tries this one from 47. Morris holds. There's the kick by Francis. And it had just enough. A 47-yard field goal by John David Francis. The Gators have taken a 3-0 lead. 11 minutes to go in quarter number 1. We'll be right back. Jerry's now 5 out of 6 in the field goal category and perfect in the point afters.
A lot of pressure on those young men, obviously, every Saturday afternoon. John David Francis had never kicked a field goal before this 1988 season, and he's off to an excellent start for the Gators this year.
John David Francis out of Bradford County High School, a junior. And perhaps that young man someday will be booting him through the uprights. There's Francis' kickoff coming to Story at the 6-yard line. Story starts right up the middle looking for a hole. Gets a pretty good one. Not a bad return at all. Out to about the 32-yard line. Godfrey Miles, number 98, making the stop for the Gators.
Ever since he came to the University of Florida.
They marked the ball just across the 32-yard line, so call it a 2-yard gain. 2nd down and 8. Sam barks out the signals. Back to throw on second down under some pressure. Dumps it off to Vactor, who juggles it, but somehow hangs on and gets out to the 40-yard line. Jeff Roth, number 96, making the stop. Trace Armstrong almost got the quarterback that time.
Trace Armstrong, again, his first year at the University of Florida, even though he's a senior, was given immediate eligibility by the NCAA if he would transfer, and he left Arizona State, chose to come to the University of Florida, and has done a tremendous job for the Gators.
That front three for the Gators getting a lot of respect nationally. I can tell you, I was out in Los Angeles this week, Jim, and they were writing about him out there. Make it third down and 2. Torrey Vactor trying for the first down. Looks like he got it. Out to about the 43-yard line. Jeff Roth making the stop after a 3-yard gain. And it should be enough for an Indiana State first down.
Vactor looks like an excellent tailback coming out of that I formation. He can read the blocking up front and has just looked exceptionally well here early in the ballgame.
He came over to Indiana State from Montgomery County Community College in Maryland. First down for the Sycamores. Sam out of the shotgun. Joey Nicoletto, who's played so well in the first 2 games.
Joey Nicoletto, the 5th-year senior from Tampa Chamberlain High School, has played extremely well this season for the Gators. A very smart player. I believe he reads John Som's eyes all the way right here. He's zeroing in on Som, watching what he's going to look to for his receivers, and steps right in front of the receiver, Elmlinger, to make the interception.
So it's a first down for the Gators at the Indiana State 45. Morris almost lost his footing, hands it out to Emmett Smith. Smith looks for running room and makes a little of his own all the way down to the 31-yard line. Troy Mickens finally making the stop after a 14-yard gain by Emmett on his first carry of the afternoon. First down, Gators. You see what Emmett Smith has done so far, and he says, Jim, that he really hasn't done much.
Understated, I think. Understated excellence. Tony Lomack, the wide receiver there, doing a nice job downfield, allowing Emmett Smith to pick up an additional 10 or 15 yards. Lomack
First down,
on the block.
Gators. Emmett Smith again. Gets it inside the 30, down to about the 27-yard line. Donald Cox making the stop. Only a sophomore and already in 11th place on the all-time Gator rushing list. And he's going to move up a lot higher. Second down and 7. Pitches to Emmett Smith. Looking for running room left. Gets down to the 25-yard line before he was tripped up. Gain of about 2. Levent Blaylock, number 2. Getting a hand on Smith. So it'll now be third down and about 4.
Big David Williams, the All-American prospect at offensive tackle, number 73, 6'5", 290 pounds, just doing a super job up front for the Gators.
First possession, the Gators threw the ball on almost every down. This possession, they have run Emmett Smith on almost every down. Third down and 4 at the Indiana State 25. Morris back to throw on third down. Complete for a first down inside the 20-yard line. Emmett Smith on the receiving end. Walter Crutchfield making the stop.
Lynn Amity, the offensive coordinator at the University of Florida, wants to get the ball in Emmett Smith's hands as much as possible. And Emmett here does an excellent job on his pass route, just getting beyond the down marker to pick up the first down.
Gators trying to add to a 3-0 lead with 7:15 remaining in this first quarter. A first down just inside the Indiana State 20. Willie McGrady couldn't find a corner to turn, only got about a yard. Antoine Liddell, number 96, the outside linebacker, and Levent Blaylock. That's the strong side of that Indiana State defense. They flip-flop those guys back and forth, depending on what play they think is coming.
Well, Coach Galen Hall will be pleased with nothing less than a touchdown in this drive. The Gators did pick up the field goal on their last opportunity, but you can't get down there and knock on the door without getting into touchdown territory when you have such excellent field position.
2nd down and 9. Just inside the 20-yard line. After the fake to Emmitt Smith, the pass is complete. Willie Snead on the receiving end down inside the 5-yard line. Donald Cox and Walter Crutchfield making the stop after a 15-yard pickup. Good for another Gator first down.
Great communication here between the quarterback and the wide receiver. Willie Snead running an excellent route, turning in on the button hook pass, almost sneaks into the end zone.
Morris now 5 out of 7 in the passing department. 1st and goal just inside the 4. The give is to Emmitt Smith, and he's going to be stopped at the line of scrimmage. Walter Crutchfield, the strong safety, getting in there for a good tackle.
Strong safety has to be a good tackler, and Crutchfield played like an inside linebacker right there, stopping Emmitt Smith in his tracks.
So no gain on that carry. It'll be 2nd and goal at the 3. Just under 6 minutes remaining in the opening quarter. The Gators knocking on the door, trying to add to a 3-0 lead. And Willie McGrady takes it in. The Steamboat.
Steamboat McGrady, no doubt about that one. 242 pounds. An awesome load coming out of the fullback position. 6'1". Willie Steamboat McGrady. Wayne Williams, lead blocker. McGrady scoots into the end zone. That's what Galen Hall was looking for. He wanted his team to get in the end zone when they get such excellent field position.
Now John David Francis for the point after, and he remains perfect for the season. A 45-yard drive. We've got 5:38 remaining in the opening quarter. The Gators now lead it 10-0, and we'll be right back.
They're really tough. I've never seen them look so strong. This can mean only one thing.
Trouble for us?
Trouble? No. It means the Ford dealers here in Florida and South Georgia will be selling more cars and trucks than ever. Just look at that new Ford Ranger. No wonder it's the best-selling compact pickup in the country. And Ford Taurus is America's best-selling car.
But, Coach, the scouting report.
I'm scouting out the new Ford, and you should be, too. See your Florida and South Georgia Ford dealers today.
Great teams aren't born. They're built, player by player. Introducing new Citrus Cooler Gatorade. It speeds in fluids and minerals. Supplies energy to working muscles. With a cool citrus taste all its own. If you're going to be part of this lineup, lemon lime, orange, fruit punch, lemonade, Citrus Cooler, you'd better bring something to the party. New Citrus Cooler Gatorade.
The broadcast rights to this game have been granted to Sports Channel by the University of Florida solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any reproduction or other use of this program without consent of Sports Channel Florida is prohibited. Pete Van Weer and Jim Yarborough back with you from Florida Field. It's 10-0 Gators. A good start for Florida this afternoon. Indiana State needing to do something with this possession. Story driven halfway into the end zone. He's not going to try to run it out. They'll start it at the 20-yard line. Good kick that time by John David Francis. Down on the field, here's Larry Vittel.
Well, Pete, you're going to be calling Willie McGrady's number quite a bit today, I think, because Cedric Smith has a bad ankle. Cedric has been the Gators starter at fullback for the first 2 ball games. The Gators would like to give Cedric the day off, and by the looks of things from Willie McGrady, they'll be able to do just that.
Okay, thank you, Larry. 5:38 remaining in this opening quarter. Indiana State first down at their own 20. Their first possession was hurt by penalties. They were hurt by penalties last week, even though they won by 21 points. They had 11 penalties a week ago. The handoff is to Torrey Vector, who gets it out to the 23-yard line. Jeff Roth making his stop, and there's the man that just scored the touchdown, Willie McGrady.
McGrady from Palatka. That's the same city where John L. Williams is from. John L. Williams, one of the greatest, if not the greatest, fullback in Florida history. Willie McGrady making his contribution out there this afternoon for the University of Florida.
We went over the starting lineup the first time the Florida defense was on the field. There are going to be a lot of liberal substitutions going on here. Tim Polk into the game, not one of the linebacker spots. They're going to be alternating him in and out of there. And Sam back to throw. Rolling right, looking long downfield, and a fine reception by Torrey Vector at the 35-yard line. Correction, that was Emlinger on the receiving end. Lewis Oliver and Richard Fain delivered the hit.
Steve Emlinger, who had such an excellent game for the Sycamores last week, coming up with this reception right here, giving Indiana State a first down. They needed this first down, obviously to keep the drive going, but also to give their defense a break. Their defense has been on the field quite a bit this afternoon early in the ball game, and the Sycamores are under some pressure to establish something on offense early.
First down at their own 38-yard line. Sam is now 2 out of 6 in the passing department. We have movement along the line of scrimmage. Penalty flags are down. The discussion amongst the officials. By the way, the officials for today's game, Astor Sizemore is the referee. Roy Waters, the umpire. George Morris, the linesman. The line judge is Terry St. Cyr. The side judge, John Fleming. William Bowden, the field judge. Ted Thomas, the back judge.
Jeff Roth, right across from the center, moved across the line of scrimmage. And I guess the officials were not sure who was in violation, whether the center was or the nose guard. So it's an offsetting penalty, and the ball stays where it is. First down for Indiana State.
Join Sports Channel Florida during the year for all the exciting action of Gator basketball, baseball, track and field, just to mention a few of the Florida Gator events right here on Sports Channel Florida. Standard equipment for the Florida sports fan. So after the offsetting penalty, still first down at their own 38. Sam back to throw. Again, the inside handoff to Vector, and Vector gets about 2, no more, out to about the 40-yard line. Joey Nicoletto with some help from Bill Lang at the end of that tackle, making the stop.
Pete, I think if we were to take a vote, Joey Nicoletto would get a lot of votes as MVP for this University of Florida defense. Just a tremendous performance in the first 3 games of the season by Joey Nicoletto.
He has played well. He has 1 interception also already this afternoon. Vector, 7 carries now for 36 yards. It's 2nd down and 8. Sam under tremendous pressure, and down he goes. He had 3 orange shirts led by Trace Armstrong and Jeff Roth. Just about draped all over him from the time he got the ball.
Last week in Jackson, Mississippi, Coach Gary Darnell, the defensive coordinator, had Jeff Roth line up occasionally at a defensive end position rather than directly across from the center. You see Roth on the outside, but watch Trace Armstrong. The guard is pulling for some reason in this play. Looked like it was a rollout type play, but Trace Armstrong was so quick off the line of scrimmage, the quarterback never had a chance.
So it's 3rd down and 15 now after the 7-yard loss back at the 33-yard line. Sam back to throw on 3rd and long, and he completes the pass, but he paid for it. The pass completed to the fullback, Mark Syke. Going to be far short of the first down. And Jeff Roth got through there again and really delivered a hit on the quarterback, John Sam, after he threw the ball.
Yes, he did, and he lined up again at the defensive end position. That looked a lot like the old front 4 that you saw quite often in pro football. And Jeff Roth rushing from the outside, a lot of pressure on the quarterback there.
2:17 remaining opening quarter. Rob Hufty in to do the punting again for the Sycamores. Stacy Simmons standing just inside his own 20. A near block by the Gators. Simmons will come up with this one at the 18-yard line. Heading for the near sideline. Still on his feet. We've got penalty markers down. Stacy Simmons out across midfield. Finally brought down by the man that kicked the ball, Rob Hufty. Inside the Indiana State 45-yard line. Stacy Simmons, who has broken games open in each of the first 2 Gator games, almost did it again there. It's a 40-yard kick and a great return by Simmons. We're going to have to wait and see what the penalty markers are all about. Looks like it's going to be against the Gators, and a Cook penalty, I believe, is going to bring this one back. That will be the case. 1:49 remaining in the opening quarter, and we'll be right back. Handing the ball to Emmitt Smith. Smith with running room gets out across the 20, out to the 24-yard line, about a yard shy of the first down. Antoine Liddell making the stop. Let's go down to the field. Larry Vittel has something for us. Larry?
Well, Pete, we've all had a blowout on the highway, but how often do you see one on the football field? That shoe is Joey Nicoletto's. It happened on the play where he intercepted the pass. We're told don't blame the shoe manufacturer. The heat causes that to be quite often happening on a day like today, but whew, that is some shoe.
We always knew Joey was an explosive type of player. 2nd down and 1. Emmitt Smith has the first down out to the 29-yard line. Paul Wapzig, the nose tackle, a 257-pound senior out of Salem, Illinois, making the stop after a 6-yard gain. First down for the Gators.
You know, Pete, sometimes that artificial turf gets so hot that rubber literally melts on the bottom of your feet sometimes. At least it gives you the perception that's happening.
It's a very humid afternoon here at Florida Field. The temperature really not that bad in the 80s, but the humidity close to 100%. Galen Hall on the sideline wearing that lucky tie. His Gators showing up now in some of the national rankings, ranked number 20 in the USA Today poll, and missing by just 2 spots, breaking into the AP top 20. Morris back to throw. Runs away from some pressure, but the pass is incomplete.
Well, we talk about feast or famine with a young quarterback, and sometimes how maturity or immaturity plays a big part in his performance. Kurt Kirkpatrick was wide open initially on that play, but Kyle Morris couldn't find him. And he looked at him for about 2 seconds, and by that time, the Sycamores were attacking the tight end, and they almost came up with an interception right there.
Morris now 5 out of 8 for 46 yards. Just over 30 seconds remaining in the opening quarter. 2nd down and 10. McGrady losing the football, and it is out of bounds. It'll still be Florida's ball. Indiana State nearly recovered that. Laurent Blaylock making the tackle. And the loose football was almost picked off by the Sycamores, but it rolled out of bounds, saving the Gators.
Yes, they have to come up with possession of the ball before it gets out of bounds, or it belongs to the team that had possession last, and that was the University of Florida. Lucky break for the Gators right there. Sycamores hustling to the football on defense.
Walter Crutchfield making the hit. Laurent Blaylock just missing the recovery with 28 seconds left. It is 3rd down, 16 yards to go for the first down. At the Gator 23. After the fake to Emmitt Smith, Morris launches one. Stacy Simmons has it at the 25. He's done it again. Stacy Simmons. Become a weekly attraction, Jim.
How about Supersonic? That'd be a great name for that young man. Stacy Simmons, Supersonic Simmons. He just flies down the football field. The fastest man on the University of Florida's football team, and he just blisters by Donald Cox, the cornerback, into the end zone for 6, and Kyle Morris lays it on the dime.
John David Francis for the point after. Francis remains perfect on the season. It's now 17-0 Gators after a 77-yard pass play from Morris to Stacy Simmons, who once in each game has broken it wide open with a long gainer.
Well, this is an obvious passing situation, 3rd and long, and you wonder what the Sycamore defensive backs are thinking about right here. They're looking into the backfield. Meanwhile, Stacy Supersonic Simmons, who runs a 4.2 40, is just flying down the sidelines.
3 catches for 187 yards for Stacy Simmons. Then he had that kickoff return a week ago, 85 yards. That's for the season, that 187 yards. It is 17-0 Gators. 18 seconds remaining opening quarter. And Indiana State, if they're to do anything in this game, really need to get something on the board. Stacy Simmons, who is a track star in addition to being a budding football star here at the University of Florida.
Yes, he was on one of the best 400-meter relay teams in the nation here at the University of Florida last spring.
Elmlinger just inside the 5-yard line receives the kickoff and is brought down shy of the 20-yard line. The tackle made by Brent Ellis, number 53.
Brent Ellis saw some action earlier this season at the inside linebacker position. Does a real good job for the Gators on the specialty teams. Brent Ellis has some good speed.
16-yard return, 12 seconds remaining opening quarter. Dennis Rates on the Indiana State sideline trying to come up with something to get the Sycamores offense going.
Indiana State 5-6 on the year last year, 1-0 here in 1988. A big challenge, obviously, for them facing a Southeastern Conference opponent.
Lined up in the eye. Som back to throw on first down. Anderson pressured. He's going to have to bite the dust. Brad Culpepper, number 50, got through. An 11-yard loss as the Gators once again get to the quarterback, who really had no option there. No matter which way he looked, there were orange shirts. And time has expired at the end of the first quarter. It is Florida 17, Indiana State nothing. And here's some Florida trivia for it. Who is Florida's all-time leading rusher? We'll have the answer when we get back right after this.
Watch real close now. Take a lesson. Lax goes fast, it's like a blessing. Giving Lax won't treat you wrong, because when it's Lax, it's gone. Fact is, Lax is country good. Use fresh lean meat just like you would. Nothing in Lax don't belong, so when it's Lax, it's gone. The Lax boys don't add nothing to like it lean cold cuts they shouldn't. No fillers, no extenders, just leaner meat for real meaty taste. One more time, when it's Lax, it's gone.
Around 20 years ago, Sonny Tillman started cooking up his own brand of barbecue. Sonny's success was built on a pleasant setting for a tasty meal at a reasonable price. It's still that way at Sonny's everywhere. That same great barbecue taste cooked into Sonny's ribs or chicken, beef or pork. So come to Sonny's Real Pit Barbecue for barbecue at its best. 'Cause everybody loves to eat at Sonny's. Barbecue at its best.
It's just what Florida's been waiting for. The NBA has arrived, and Sports Channel Florida has teamed up with the Miami Heat for the excitement of 41 games you can't see anywhere else. Follow the Heat on Sports Channel as they take on the NBA's brightest stars like Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, and Magic Johnson. Don't get left out in the cold. It's Miami Heat basketball coming this fall on Sports Channel Florida. Standard equipment for the Florida sports fan.
Well, I'm sure all you Gator fans who have followed this team had the answer to this one. Who is Florida's all-time leading rusher? If you didn't, there's the answer. Neil Anderson with 3,234 yards. And you have to wonder if Neil Anderson watches Emmitt Smith's game-by-game totals, wondering how long it's going to take Emmitt to catch him.
Well, I'm sure he's an admirer, but let's point this out. Neil Anderson was the starting tailback in 1983 when Indiana State almost beat the University of Florida. Neil Anderson, I believe, got 195 yards rushing in that game, but Indiana State had a chance to win that ball game in '83 late in the ball game. So, you know, they got some talented kids in their program.
John Som is 3 out of 7. He has 1 pass intercepted, 31 yards in the air. Torrey Vactor has been his top running back. And the second quarter underway. It is 2nd down and 21 after that quarterback sack, which ended the first quarter. This is the fullback coughing the ball up. Brent Fleming lost the football as he crossed the 15-yard line, and Pat Moore was right there.
Lewis Oliver, the Gators All-American prospect, one of the finest safeties in the nation without any doubt, comes up with a fumble recovery. Here, Gators get excellent field position. Brent Fleming, number 41, just lost the handle on the ball, deep in his own territory right there. Unfortunate circumstance for the Sycamores, but the Gators in tremendous field position.
Things really beginning to fall apart now for Indiana State, and things really beginning to go Florida's way. In the opening minute of quarter number 2, the Gators trying to add to a 17-0 lead, and look where they start this possession, at the Indiana State 18-yard line. Morris back to throw on first down, has all kinds of time, launching one toward the end zone, intended for Tony Lomack. He overthrew him a little bit. It's incomplete.
Tony Lomack has the same type of ability that Stacy Simmons has. He just hasn't had a chance to touch the football that often in 87 or 88, but Lomack is an excellent prospect. Right there, he was wide open on the corner route. Cal Morris just clearly overthrew him. We might point out that young Dexter McDabb, the young fullback that looked so good in game 1 against Montana State, is on the field right now.
Along with Wayne Williams. Williams running an Emmett Smith spot. You saw the numbers on Morris early in the game. The handoff to Wayne Williams. Williams inside the 15, spins to about the 11-yard line. That was Troy Mickens on the stop, the free safety.
Larry Patel mentioned that Cedric Smith is nursing an injury, and McDabb getting some extra playing time this afternoon. And I know the Gator coaching staff is happy about that. They want to get as many young players on the field, get them the experience that they'll need for tough SEC battles that face them in the future.
You saw the numbers on Wayne Williams, who scored that touchdown, a big one last week against Ole Miss. 3rd down and 3 at the Indiana State 11. Kyle Morris handing off to Williams again. A penalty marker is down as Williams gets inside the 10 down to about the 8. Jeff Probst, number 93, making the stop for Indiana State. Let's see what the flags are all about. The call will go against the Sycamores. Another Indiana State penalty. In last week's win over Salem, Indiana State had 11 penalties for 114 yards, and they've been hurt by penalties in this game. Part of a huge crowd here at Florida Field.
71, 72,000, somewhere in there. We'll get an exact count later, but a lot of fans here at Florida Field this afternoon.
And eventually the stadium will be able to seat upwards of 84,000 when the new north end zone seats go in. It's a 1st and goal. Kyle Morris pitching to Wayne Williams. Touchdown, Gators. Wayne Williams from 6 yards out.
Watch Mark McGriff, number 80, who comes over in motion. The tight end just throws a tremendous block right there, allowing the tailback to literally walk into the end zone. Tremendous job up front by the Gator offensive line, and a beautiful block by the tight end, big Mark McGriff, number 80.
John David Francis' point after is good, and with 13:44 remaining in the first half, the Gators have opened up a 24-0 lead. We'll be right back.
Steamrollers up front for the Gators.
The kick by Francis, taken by John Story at the 7-yard line. Story out across the 15. That'll be about it. He gets to about the 20-yard line. Harvey.
Not the kind of position you want to be in when you trail 24-0 and you have a 3rd and long deep in your own territory. Tough job for that offensive line that the Sycamores have on the field right now.
We should point out that Kerry Watkins, number 4, now in there at the right corner spot. Saw him back to throw on 3rd and long, and it's picked off. Inside the 25-yard line, Owen Bartrup, number 29, with the 2nd Gator hit there.
Saw him. The ball gets away from him a little bit, and Bartrup comes up with the interception.
So the Gators have it again, 1st down at the Indiana State 25. They already lead, the Gators do, 24-0. Morris handing off to Emmett Smith. Smith losing the football as he got across the 24-yard line.
Because it has a little bit less air in it right now. Big 290-pound offensive tackle. Most certainly a number 1 draft choice next year for the NFL.
A gain of 2, so it'll be 2nd down and 8.
Very characteristic of Emmett Smith, trying to get an extra yard, trying to get the extra yard. That time he got hit and coughed the ball up.
Most exquisite body.
at the Sycamore 23. Morris back to throw. The pass incomplete. Emmett Smith, the intended receiver. Walter Crutchfield back there in the coverage for the Sycamores. Boy, Morris really fired that ball.
Could make up.
I didn't know we...
George Myrick.
It'll now be 3rd and 8.
One of the things a young quarterback has to learn is to ease up on the pass on occasion, not throw that hard ball on the short pass routes.
Morris now 6 out of 11 for 123 yards. It's 3rd and 8. You saw John David Francis getting ready on the sideline in case the Gators cannot pick up the first down. Morris back to throw again. He has plenty of protection. It breaks down a little bit now. He's going to run for the first down, try to get it, and he will be brought down about the 8.
You know that girl...
Yard shy of the first down. Walter Crutchfield, number 9, making the stop. And that'll make it 4th and about 3, and John David Francis will check in for the Gators. Earlier in the game, Francis connected from 47 yards out, his longest Gator field goal.
I would say he's under no pressure right here. 24-0 lead.
We've got a player down for Indiana State being tended to.
That's outrageous for
Their offense, very impressive. Pete, as you mentioned earlier, they've had some problems coming out in the first 2 games last week against Ole Miss. The Gator offense did crank it up a little bit earlier this afternoon. They just looked tremendous from play 1.
And Francis will just have to wait till the Indiana State player is taken care of here. He appears to be pretty well shaken up. So the clock is stopped here with 11:02 remaining. Trying to pick up who that might be.
Busy bee. That's because you were.
I never thought about that.
But you can join Sports Channel Florida for the next Gator football
ball game. Mississippi State always gives the University of Gators next Saturday afternoon.
They continue to work on the injured player at about the 17-yard line, Kyle Morris. And the rest of the Gators standing by. It's always a difficult spot for both teams. You never like to see a player get seriously hurt.
Well, it's a very violent...
Florida sideline. Well, he was there. He's blocked out right now. The injured player, number... He's a cornerback. Freshman out of West Harvey, Louisiana. Redshirt last year. And it does not look like he'll be able to return this afternoon. So now John David Francis will try one from 25-yard line. That'll be a 35-yard attempt as the Gators try to extend their lead to 27-0. Morris with a hold. Francis with a kick. And he has been deadly. He has been deadly. This one from 35 yards out. 27-0 Gators, 10:56 to go in the first half, and we'll be right back. Well, back here at Florida Field, Pete Van Weer and Jim Yarborough. It's 27-0 Gators, and Galen Hall, Jim, has got to be very happy with the performance of his team thus far, because he stated at the very outset of the season that the goal of this team this year was to get a little bit better each week, and that has been the case so far.
No doubt about that. This young team faces more difficulty later on in the season with their Southeastern Conference schedule, but they're off to a great start here in 1988, doing everything basically that I believe the coaching staff wanted them to do. Won a tough game last week on the road against Ole Miss, and this afternoon come out and establish control of this game from play 1.
Elmlinger and Story are deep for the Sycamores. And there's the boot by John David Francis coming to John Story, again in the end zone, about 3 yards back. He's going to try to run it out. Out across the 10, out across the 15, out to about the 17-yard line. He was initially tripped up by Richard Fain, number 28. And the Sycamores, who really haven't had any kind of field position to speak of the entire afternoon, start out a little bit in the hole again here.
Yes, that was not a very good decision right there. His teammate was trying to tell Story to stay in the end zone, and the ball was at least 6 or 7 yards deep in the end zone. He tried to run it out, but didn't get beyond the 20.
John David Francis connecting for his second field goal of the afternoon. 27-0 is your score. And the Sycamores have it first down on their own 18. The starter's still in there. So we notice Tony Rowell, number 92, is checked in at one of the defensive tackle spots.
Gerald Odom, Jerry Odom, number 57, inside linebacker from Merritt Island.
Second down at about 4. The handoff again to Ray Wallace, who has carried the ball the last 2 times. Ephesians Bartley, number 44, making the stop for the Gators. Well, this linebacking core that Galen has this year, very deep, Jim, who can be used in a lot of different situations.
I think that's evident in the first 3 games of the season. A lot of players with a lot of talent on defense. They rotate consistently, about 7, maybe as many as 9 players playing a lot of minutes on defense for the Gators.
Brent Ellis, number 53, also in there, one of the linebacker spots. It's a first down for Indiana State.
But again, he had no idea Lewis Oliver was standing so close to him.
Rob Hufty is checked in to do the kicking. Stacy Simmons, who has done it again this week, this time with a 77-yard pass play, standing at his own 32-yard line. Hufty gets the kick away. Simmons will take it at about the 34. Surrounded by Sycamores, and he'll be brought down this time at about the 41-yard line. And there were about 5, 6.
Stacy Simmons, just tremendously exciting. All kinds of athletic ability in that young man, and as we mentioned, the fastest player on the field for the University of Florida.
35-yard kick, about a 7-yard return for Stacy Simmons. The initial hit was made by number 40, Ken Hopp.
To get into this thing, but the Gators are using this early advantage to take the opportunity to mix in first and second teamers to develop that depth a little more. Herbert Perry, Hisham Ishmael, Chris Bromley, all in there with the rest of the first unit during this series.
The penalty moves the ball back to the 47-yard line. Second down, 17. Perry back to throw on second and long. He dishes it out to Lomack. And
Brent Ellis getting knocked back a little bit right there, allowing Wallace a chance to almost pick up the first down. In fact, he did.
Watkins, who is in for the second series of the game. It's a first down for Indiana State at their own 17-yard line. Wallace now with 5 carries for 22 yards. This is the fullback, Brent Fleming. And you can see, Jim, that Indiana State has really been taken out of their... They've got Kyle Frondorf in there now to try to get something going, as John Somm has been unable to, but they really haven't had much success throwing the ball, so they're trying to do it on the ground, and they haven't had much success there either.
Well, when your offense is called multiple, you better be able to do both. And obviously, they've had some problems out here with field position this afternoon. The Gator defense playing an excellent football game, putting a lot of pressure on the Sycamores on every series.
Frondorf, who transferred out of Cincinnati and at quarterback now, he's from Sunman, Indiana. He gives the ball off to Ray Wallace on second down and 7. Wallace got to the line of scrimmage, maybe picked up a half yard. Brad Culpepper there on the stop for Florida. And it'll now be third down and about 7.
You can look for a lot of pressure here from the Gator defense, possibly an all-out blitz. An obvious passing situation has Indiana State deep in their own territory. Really no pressure at all on the defense right here. They can kind of pin their ears back and let it go.
3 minutes, 20 seconds remaining in the first half. Gators leading at 27-0. It's third and 7 for the Sycamores. Rodney Porter in motion. Frondorf rolling left. He completes it to his fullback, Brent Fleming. And Fleming out close to a first down. It'll depend on where the ball is spotted. Looks like he's going to be shy by about a yard as it's marked on the 26-yard line. Curtis White there in the coverage and making the tackle for the Gators.
Curtis White, who plays behind Bill Lang normally, again getting a chance to see some action out there on the field. Gators liberally substituting this afternoon early in the first half.
So it'll be 4th and 1, and the Sycamores will have to punt it away again. Rob Hufty, who's going to be punting for the 4th time. He's kicked well this afternoon. You saw his average 39 yards. Stacy Simmons standing at his own 39-yard line and waiting the Rob Hufty punt. Low snap, but no rush on by the Gators. And a long punt this time by Hufty. Boy, did he get a hold of that one. Simmons bobbling it back at the 23, now picks it up across the 30, and he'll go out of bounds at about the 35-yard line. A long kick by Hufty, 46 yards. Simmons got it out of bounds at the 35-yard line, and with 2:12 remaining, there's your score, and we'll be right back. For a 24-yard gain.
Nice to see the Gators taking advantage of Mark McGriff's great hands. Mark McGriff has yet to drop a ball that he's touched in his career here at the University of Florida. Gators looking to use that tight end a lot more this season. Lynn Amity, as we mentioned last week, loves to include that tight end in his passing game.
Morris back to throw on 1st down. The pass complete again to the tight end, Mark McGriff. At the 35-yard line, stopped by Ken Hopp and Matt Campbell. We've got that freshman tandem in there in the backfield now, Jim, of Willie McClendon, Dexter McNabb, and the Gators working on their 2-minute drill here.
2 of the finest freshman young running backs in the South. Gators have them on the field.
Just a minute 37 remaining in the half. Stacy Simmons with a reception. He'll get out of bounds at the 18-yard line. 1st down for the Gators. That'll stop the clock with a minute 29 remaining.
Solomon Emerson has a shot at Stacy right here. Morris finding Simmons along the sideline. Excellent protection up front. Emerson just can't come up with the tackle. Stacy Simmons is too elusive.
Emerson, the only true freshman expected to see any playing time for Indiana State in this game. Morris now 9 out of 14 for 185 yards. He's had a good first half throwing the ball. He's back to throw again with all kinds of time. The pass incomplete, intended for Mark McGriff. Darnell White, who's big for a linebacker, 6'3", 232, delivered the hit.
He's a little bit bigger than McGriff, the tight end right there. He got there just at the same instant the football did. A nice job by the big outside linebacker, Darnell White.
There you see the day that Kyle Morris has had. 2nd down and 10, a minute 22 remaining in the half. Gators trying to add to a 27-0 lead. Morris back to throw under a little pressure. Still gets it away to Wayne Williams. Williams at the 10, Williams at the 5, Williams down to the 1-yard line. Troy Mickens made the touchdown-saving tackle.
I would say that's a combination of speed and power. Wayne Williams does have excellent speed, one of the 4 or 5 fastest players on the Gator Ball Club. Kyle Morris finds him sitting down in the short zone on the outside, makes a little bit of a juke, heads for that end zone. Look at him turn the corner with that speed. Now put the head down, powers near the goal line.
1st and goal, and the freshman fullback Dexter McNabb is in for the touchdown. And the Gators have done against Indiana State exactly what they did against Montana State. If they make this extra point, they'll have that lead up to 34-0. That's what it was at halftime against Montana State in the season opener.
Dexter McNabb, the young true freshman from Defuniak Springs up in the Panhandle, Walton High School. That's a thrill. I believe it's his first college touchdown.
John David Francis, who has 2 field goals and 3 points after, continues his perfect day, and it's now 34-0. With 58 seconds remaining.
Could be a long day for these fellas.
They will be in shape. We want to remind you that Sports Channel Florida will bring you the excitement of Major League Baseball all this week. On Monday night, it'll be the Orioles and the Yankees. Big game for the Yanks at 7:30. Tuesday night, the White Sox take on the Rangers. Wednesday night, Orioles and the Yankees again. Thursday night, the Phillies and the Mets at 7:30. And you can catch all the action right here on Sports Channel Florida, standard equipment for the Florida sports fan. 65-yard drive, took only a minute and 14 seconds. Dexter McNabb from a yard out for the touchdown. And I think the Gators surprising even themselves a little bit here today, Jim. They are playing an excellent, excellent first half on both sides of the ball.
The Gator coaching staff has to be pleased. This is exactly what they would hope for. They would hope that their young men would come out and establish control of this ball game immediately. Indiana State, a Division I AA program, the University of Florida contender for the Southeastern Conference crown. The Gator coaching staff fully expecting their young men to come out and control this ball game.
This is Brent Fleming out across the 35-yard line to about the 37. Kurt Young making the stop for the Gators. And the Sycamores will put it in play with only 50 seconds remaining in this first half, trailing by a 34-0 score. 270 yards in total offense already for the Gators. 68 yards on the ground, 202 yards in the air. Indiana State with 89 total yards in this first half. Kyle Frondorf again in at quarterback. Senior out of Sunman, Indiana. He hands it off to Ray Wallace. And Wallace gets about a yard or two out to the 39. Greg Baldwin making the stop, another young linebacker getting some playing time here this afternoon. There's the last scoring drive. That 2-minute drill worked to perfection by Kyle Morris and company. This might be the last play of the first half. Only 18 seconds remaining. The clock is moving. 2nd and 8. The inside handoff to Brent Fleming. And again, it's Greg Baldwin making the stop as Fleming picks up another yard or two. And that will be the final play of this afternoon's first half. Well, Gator fans can be proud of their ball club this afternoon. The Gators have done just about everything right in this first half, and at halftime, it is 34-0 Florida leading Indiana State. And we'll be back with more at halftime right after this from our sponsors and another great moment in Gator football history presented by Sports Channel Florida. In 1985, the Florida Gators trailed Auburn by 3 points late in the fourth quarter. On the line for Florida was the school's first ever #1 ranking in the nation.
Takes a look over his center at Auburn's defensive football team. Kerwin takes it, wants to throw, floats it high for the end zone, a great catch by McDonald. What a Ray McDonald. You can't defend that.
Hi, I'm Morgan Fairchild. Education is still our best defense against the spread of AIDS and the harm that can happen when people are not informed. That's why the Will Rogers Institute is offering a free booklet that can give you the facts. You'll learn how AIDS can be caught. You'll learn the difference between having the AIDS virus and having the disease. And you'll learn how to protect yourself and your family. For your free copy, write the Will Rogers Institute, White Plains, New York.
Thomas Sullivan Magnum. Private investigator. He seeks until he finds. Weekday mornings at 9 on TV 20. Watch him.
We are back at halftime at Florida Field. The Gators leading Indiana State and leading them big, 34-0. It has been a Florida afternoon so far. Everything on both sides of the football working to perfection for the Gators. And while things are going so well for the football team, let's take a look at another fine aspect from this great University of Florida.
Now here's the latest news from the University of Florida. Bulky property appraiser maps form the basic document that most county agencies refer to when planning for neighborhood developments, power and water line locations, and the like. Making and maintaining the maps was burdensome, time-consuming, and expensive until now. Enter John Alexander, a city planning expert and environmental engineer at the University of Florida's College of Architecture. He and his colleagues have developed GeoMaps, a computer-based system that will do this electronically.
In the past, it took maybe a week and a half to redraw a map. We can put one in the computer in about a day. We're focusing currently on the property appraiser tax mapping system, as well as the electric utility system within Alachua County and the city of Gainesville.
When completed, GeoMaps will also be hooked up to the 911 dispatch office. It will automatically display a map of the caller's general area and warn the dispatcher of any obstructions to the emergency vehicle's route. Alachua County and Gainesville city officials estimate that GeoMaps will save them about $450,000 a year. The University of Florida, serving the state and the nation.
By the time you reach 50, First Union believes you're entitled to a few privileges.
With our benefit banking program, we guarantee the service.
You guarantee what?
We guarantee the service.
Benefit banking begins at 50, with discounts, bonuses, and guaranteed service.
And if we're not completely satisfied, we'll refund any service charges.
Benefit banking from First Union. The service is guaranteed. And that's new banking power for you.
Door to this bathroom entrance.
Okay, great. You know, I've been building homes in Florida for almost 2 decades, and 20 years have taught me something most people in my business already know. Get the right supplies at the right price, and that means shopping at Scotty's. Fact is, Scotty's is Florida's largest supplier to builders and contractors. So if top quality and low prices are important to you, go to Scotty's. Hey, it's my business, but it's your home.
This is Galen Hall. Be sure to watch Florida football on Sports Channel Florida. Standard equipment for the Florida sports fan.
National Car Rental is the official car rental company of the Florida Gators. National features GM cars like the Pontiac Grand Am. For reservations, call 1-800-CAR-RENT.
Our guest here at halftime, the Vice President of Government and University Relations for the University of Florida, Al Alsobrook. Al, good to have you with us. And another session of the legislature just around the corner coming up in the spring. What are some of the issues that the school is looking at this year in the legislature?
A new legislature is like a new football season. We'll have new players, new elections, etc. But the main thing we'll be looking at is some priorities or some continuing to work on the problems at the vet school. Our vet school suffered from the sick building syndrome, they call it, or tight building syndrome. And we'll need a few more million to get the building ventilation system totally repaired and to expand the building to hold the number of people and the number of animals that are needed in that facility.
I know one of the things you and the entire school have to be very proud of, the success of the Gator license plate program. You see them all over the place.
We are. The legislature passed that 2 years ago for us, and in the last year, our goal was to sell 25,000 tags. We sold 23,000. That represents around $600,000 that comes to the university for academic enhancement purposes. That's a self-tax. People pay an extra $25 over the cost of their automobile license tag. The University of Florida has outsold all the other universities combined. So we're very proud of that program. Over the 5-year life of a license tag, that will mean nearly $3 million for academic enhancement.
And, of course, a lot of attention right now focused on the upcoming kickoff of the Capitol campaign.
Yes, it's going to be another big event. Forrest Sawyer of ABC News is going to MC a kickoff banquet on the 30th of September. We join about 5 of the other major universities in the country to hold a kickoff of a campaign of over $200 million. While we're a state university, we need the support, private support, in order to move into the excellence and to carry forward with the excellence that the university now enjoys. So that's an exciting event. We're expecting over between 1,000 and 1,500 of our alumni to be here for that dinner, and it's going to be an outstanding event.
Al Alsobrook, thank you very much for stopping by and chatting with us. Continued success to you and the entire university.
Appreciate it very much. Good to be with you.
And we'll be back with more from halftime at Florida Field right after this.
Some things in life will always be classic. Get the picture? You will. Tune in Sundays at 4 for the greatest movie classics, only on TV 20. Tuned to you.
A galaxy of stars are heading your way.
Get back!
They're Hollywood's hottest big draw celebs.
You'll see, they're terrific.
In an outrageous half hour that's fast and furious.
Well, isn't it fun? What a fun show!
So come on, picture yourself with television's brightest stars and play along on Win, Lose, or Draw.
Weekdays at 5 on TV 20.
I take a look at all of the maps that have come down, the forecasts that we get from the National Weather Service, what the meteorologists basically for the Weather Service think it's going to do, take a look at the maps, how they think it's going to play in our weather forecasting, call up some current satellite maps, and then start saying, okay, what are the conditions? What will be the conditions in the future, the way the Weather Service sees it, the way I see it, and how is that going to translate into the weather forecast? And I begin work from there.
Pete Van Weren, Jim Yarborough back with you at halftime at Florida Field. It's been all Gators 34-0 over Indiana State. An excellent first half on both sides of the football for Florida in the first half. And it looks, Jim, like it's going to become a weekly occurrence, just waiting for Stacy Simmons to break one, because first week it was a 93-yard pass play. Second week an 85-yard kickoff return. This week it went 77 yards.
The kid's fantastic. We're going to call him Supersonic Stacy Simmons. Kyle Morris right here just throws it as hard as he can. Stacy Simmons, who we mentioned, runs a 4.2, 5.43, 40-yard dash, just blisters by Walker here, the cornerback, and literally walks into the end zone. Just a beautiful play by Kyle Morris, throwing the bomb to Stacy Simmons.
And it didn't take the defense long to establish itself either. Joey Nicoletta with a big interception very early on.
Well, this kid has performed tremendously well for the Gators. Here he reads Sam's eyes all the way and is going to run right in front of the receiver to catch the ball. Just a very intelligent move by the inside linebacker coming up with the interception.
So with dominance on both sides of the football, the Gators lead at 34-0, and we'll be back with some more comments in the third quarter of this afternoon's game right after these words.
Hey, Gator fans, Albert the Alligator here to say the new official University of Florida license tags are on sale now at your local tag office. There's one for every Florida university, and you don't have to wait till your old tag expires. $25 will go to improve academic programs at your school. Now, here's a van that needs one.
Thanks, Albert. I already have one. Gator fans, you've got to get one, too.
Sports Channel Florida is your ticket to the most University of Florida events. During the year, you'll see all the action of Gator football, basketball, and baseball. Plus, Sports Channel will bring you the best of Gator swimming, tennis, and gymnastics, coverage you can't see anywhere else. You won't want to miss any of the exciting Gator action on Sports Channel Florida. Standard equipment for the Florida sports fan.
Third quarter about to begin. The Gators will be receiving the kickoff. Stacy Simmons and Wayne Williams awaiting the kick of Rob Hufty. And this will be Wayne Williams at the 4-yard line. Williams brought down after a good pickup, 28-yard pickup out to the 32-yard line. Here's a look at the numbers in the first half, Jim, and it really shows how the Gators have dominated this one to this point.
The Gator offense approaching 300 yards, 270 yards in total offense in the first half. The Gator defense holding the Sycamores to less than 100, only 94 yards for Indiana State total offense in the first half. And now Florida also has the football. They have a 34-0 lead, but they receive the second half kickoff. A lot of pressure on the Sycamores here to shut the Gators down, at least to some extent.
The starting unit is in there. Emmett Smith takes the handoff from Kyle Morris. Smith gained 48 yards in the first half, and his first carry in the second half, good for about 8 more yards out to the 40-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 2.
I'm sure Coach Dennis Rates made the point to his kids, don't quit. Let's get out there and fight. Let's get out there and hustle, and he'd like nothing better than for his defense to shut Florida down on their first offensive series. Conversely, Galen Hall wants his team to get out there and score and break the back of Indiana State.
The official attendance here this afternoon, 70,147. 2nd down and 3. Emmett Smith stopped shy of the first down. Ken Hopp, number 40, one of the inside linebackers, who was the top tackler for the Sycamores last year, making the stop on Emmett Smith this time. That's what Emmett's done so far today. He's been over 100 yards his first 2 games. We'll see if he plays long enough in this second half to get over that 100-yard mark today.
Pete, the coaches always tell the players never to guess, but I'm going to guess right here. I'm going to guess that they're going to try and come up with a pass play, 3rd and short, maybe catch the Sycamores flat-footed.
It's 3rd down, less than a yard to go for the first down at the Gator 42. Instead, they hand it off to Willie McGrady, and he's got the first down out across the 45 to about the 47-yard line. McGrady starting in place of Cedric Smith, who's had some rib problems last week, an ankle problem this week. And McGrady and McNabb have shared the fullback duties here this afternoon.
Well, that was my first and last guess of the 1988 season. I think they thought, why put the ball in the air? We're ahead 34-0. Let's just get out there and grind it out.
First down for the Gators at their own 47-yard line in the opening minutes of quarter number 3. Emmett Smith has some blockers out in front, gets across midfield down to about the 46-yard line. He was tripped up coming across the 50. Tom Werner making the stop.
David Williams, All-American prospect, number 73, offensive left tackle, just throwing a tremendous block up front, giving the tailback a little bit of extra daylight.
2nd down and 3. Emmett now with 12 carries, good for 65 yards. Morris on the option is going to run it himself. He's got the first down. And he took 2 men over the 40-yard line as he went out of bounds. Lavent Blaylock and Walter Crutchfield. It's a first down for the Gators.
The Gators do not feature the offense of the option, but that time they clearly ran the option play, and they have confidence in Kyle Morris's running ability. That's why that play is, in fact, in the offense, but they do not feature the option attack.
Dennis Rates experiencing a long afternoon here at Florida Field. Gets to watch Emmett Smith again, and Smith picks up 4 more yards down to the Indiana State 35-yard line. Matt Campbell, number 91, making the stop.
Last year, Indiana State played at least 2 Division I programs. They lost to Georgia Tech 38-0, and they beat Cincinnati 40-16. So they do play from year to year 2 or 3 Division I programs.
2nd down and 6. Emmett Smith again, the ball carrier. And just a tremendous run again by Emmett Smith. He gets down to the 25-yard line despite the fact that he had all kinds of tacklers draped on him just about from the time he got the ball. Ken Hopp finally brought him down.
2 All-Americans here. Watch David Williams, number 73, on the pull. Emmett Smith right on his hip. David Williams throwing a great block. Now Emmett does a little shake and bake. Picks up 4 or 5 yards on his own after David Williams allowed him to get 2 or 3 by throwing the great block.
It's another Gator first down. at the Indiana State 25. Almost exclusively on the ground this possession. Emmitt Smith again inside the 20 down to the 18. In fact, it has been exclusively on the ground. It's almost like, Jim, since they had field position deep for a change, that they wanted to see if they could sustain a drive on the ground.
Well, also, the score is 34-0, so they're going to stay pretty conservative with their offensive attack. Look at the center of gravity, the low center of gravity that Emmitt Smith has. He always seems to be under total control, never seems to be running out of control.
Another 7-yard gain, 2nd down and 3. Emmitt Smith again gets away from one man, but was not able to elude the others. Paul Wapzig, number 61, finally put him down. Jeff Probst also went on the tackle. Loss of 4 yards on that carry will make it 3rd down and about 7.
Well, Dennis Rates, the head coach for Indiana State, has his fingers crossed right here. He wouldn't mind if his defense gave up 3, but he doesn't want Florida to get down and get another 7 early in the 3rd quarter. So a lot of pressure on the Sycamore defense right here. Let's see what Kyle Morris, the young quarterback, can come up with.
First real passing situation of this drive. 3rd down and 7. At the 22-yard line. And Morris is back to throw on 3rd down. Good protection. Stacy Simmons with a reception at the 11-yard line. Simmons reverses direction, gets it all the way down to the 6-yard line. Eric Christensen, number 95, finally brought him down. It's another Gator 1st down.
In this offensive formation, the Gators have 3 wide receivers, but everyone goes deep except Stacy Simmons, and he just drags across the field. After the linebackers has dropped out of their zone, here comes the speed burner across the field to catch the ball. And look at this extra effort by the little man.
Simmons now with 3 catches on the afternoon, good for 99 yards, 77 of them coming on that touchdown play in the first half. 1st and goal at the 6-yard line. Emmitt Smith gets across the 5, in for the touchdown.
Just incredible balance by the University of Florida All-American prospect, Emmitt Smith, fantastic as a freshman last year for the Gators. Starts right off this season, early in 1988, with the same kind of performances that made him the darling of the Southeastern Conference last year. A lot of balance, a lot of poise. Emmitt Smith breezes into the end zone for 6.
That makes it 40, and now John David Francis will try for the point after. That was a 68-yard drive that consumed almost 6 minutes of the clock. The point after attempt by Francis is good. The Gators up their lead to 41-0 over Indiana State with 9:17 to go in the 3rd quarter. We'll be right back.
Go behind the scenes of Gator football each week on Florida Football Highlights with Galen Hall. Sundays at noon, right here on TV 20. Tuned to you.
When you're inside making plans, you need to know what the weather's going to be like outside. Hi, I'm Fred Rixey, TV 20's chief meteorologist, and I've got the answer. Every day, 24 hours a day, you can call the TV 20 Oaks Mall Weather Hotline. All you have to do is pick up the phone and dial 37-STORM for the latest weather information. Or you can drop by the TV 20 Weather Center here at the Oaks Mall. So stop guessing about the weather, because the answer's as near as your phone. Just dial 37-STORM for the weather hotline.
Children around the world are crippled by the thousands from a disease that can be eliminated with 12 cents worth of vaccine. This disease is polio. Rotary clubs everywhere have pledged a polio-free world through a program called Polio Plus. Find out how you can help. Contact your local Rotary club.
It's 41-0 Gators. They score on their first possession here in the 3rd quarter. A fine run by Emmitt Smith from 6 yards out. And you'll see it again here.
Talking about being under control, excellent balance. Watch the footwork of Emmitt Smith. Stops, avoids the tackle, stops, avoids the tackle, and just waltzes into the end zone.
And on this particular drive, it was almost all Emmitt Smith behind the fine Gator blocking.
John Durden, Richard Staroweski, big number 75. Willie Steamboat McGrady, a lot of help up front for Emmitt Smith.
So with 9:17 to go in this 3rd quarter, the Gators will kick it off one more time. John David Francis drilling it deep. And Story taking it 5 yards back into the end zone. He likes not to run it out. They'll bring it out to the 20. Look at the time of possession. They were able to eat up 5 minutes and 43 seconds in that 68-yard drive.
I think that's what Galen Hall would like to do. He realizes this game is out of control, and he would just as soon put his offense out there on the field, run the ball almost on every play, eat that clock up.
So quarter number 3's first possession for the Sycamores of Indiana State. They are down 41-0. Frondorf is the quarterback. He hands it off to his fullback, who runs right into Joey Nicoletto. Tell you one reason why you might not see John Somm, their starting quarterback, in this game the rest of the way. Dennis Rade's very concerned about his Gateway Conference season that's beginning for him next week. And Somm has had injury problems the past couple of years. He had a hamstring problem, he's had knee surgery and an ankle problem, and they would like to keep him healthy for their conference schedule. Don't want to take a chance of getting him hurt out here this afternoon. If the game were closer, he'd still be in there, but Frondorf getting the playing time now. He's back to throw, and he's going to be brought down. Rondi Weston got him. Huey Richardson was right there in case Rondi missed. That's the 3rd sack of the afternoon. Trace Armstrong had one earlier, so did Brad Culpepper.
University of Florida very strong up front. 3 down linemen, all 5-year seniors. Excellent opportunity to go on and play pro football next season. A lot of strength up front for the Gators with those big down 3 linemen.
3rd down and 16. The ball at the Indiana State 14. Frondorf rolls right. Fires up the middle. The pass is caught by number 4, Rodney Porter. But only for about a 6-yard gain. Bill Lang making the initial hit for the Gators. And once again, the Sycamores will have to bring on the punting unit. Rob Hufty's gotten the workout today. And he's kicked the ball well.
That's an excellent average. Anytime you're over 42 yards, you've done a very fine job punting the football. And they need to, because the guy standing back there waiting for the punt is Stacy Simmons, and he's obviously electrifying.
I believe that's Tony Lomack this time. Back deep. It is. He calls for the fair catch at the 44-yard line, and the Gators will have good field position again. And right now, let's go down to the sideline. Larry Vittel has something for us. Larry?
Well, Pete, we got a few injury problems here on the Gators sideline. 2 guys out for the game. Tight end Harvey Thomas with a bruised knee. Linebacker Godfrey Miles with a slight hamstring pull. Neither too serious. A couple of offensive linemen, Tracy Daniels and Kevin Sills, minor knee injuries. They can go back, but there's a pretty good chance they won't with the score what it is at this stage of the game.
Okay, thank you, Larry. It's 41-0 Gators. We've got 7:07 to go, 3rd quarter. Kyle Morris in there at quarterback again. Again, it's the starting unit in that backfield. Morris back to throw on 1st down, firing long downfield. He completes it to the tight end, Kirk Kirkpatrick. 1st down as he goes out of bounds at the 26-yard line of Indiana State. Matt Campbell finally drove him out.
This young man is an excellent receiver, very good speed out of the tight end position. Kirk Kirkpatrick from Brandon, Florida, caught 40 or 50 passes his senior year from the tight end position, and offensive coordinator, again, Lynn Amity, wants to use that tight end. He wants that tight end to be an integral part of the Gator offense, and we're seeing that happen this afternoon.
Kyle Morris putting together the kind of numbers he's been dreaming about. Look at those numbers. 12 out of 18, 236 yards. He's thrown for a touchdown. 368 yards of total offense now for the Gators on the afternoon. Emmett Smith has accounted for a lot of those yards, and he just picked up about 9 or 10 more. He's going to be close to a 1st down at the 16-yard line. Solomon Emerson, the true freshman cornerback, making the stop for Indiana State. And that puts Emmett Smith over the 100-yard mark. He's gained 101 yards now, 3 straight games this year now over 100 yards.
I think that's why you see him on the field right now. The Gator coaching staff wanting Emmett Smith to continue with his 100-yard streak, give the young man an opportunity to make some postseason all-star games, work on those numbers, but I doubt if he'll see much action from this point on after this particular offensive series is over.
He was just shy of the first down. At second down, it'll be a first down now as that pass is completed to Terrence Barber.
Morris back, complete to Barber.
At about the 12-yard line.
Stop by Barrett.
They mark it at the 7-yard line. It'll be at the 12-yard line, rather. It'll be 1st and 10 from that point.
Assam Ishmael coming in for Big Richard Staroweski. Both those guys seeing a lot of playing time at the offensive guard position. Again, the Gators substituting liberally.
First down at the Indiana State 12. Emmett Smith gets inside the 10 down to about the 9-yard line. Jeff Props, number 93, made the initial hit.
Tony Lowe, number 78 from Columbus, Ohio, also helping out, the senior defensive lineman playing nose tackle.
Gain of about 3 more yards for Emmett. It'll be 2nd down and 7. 5 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. It's 41-0 Gators. Barber comes wide to the left. Lomack wide to the right. Handoff goes to Emmett Smith, and he gets down to about the 5-yard line. A 4-yard gain. Solomon Emerson over there helping on the tackle.
Tom Werner, number 23, also seen some action for the Sycamores, making a nice play, hitting Emmett short of the first down.
It'll be 3rd down now, about 3 to go for the first down, about 6 to go for the touchdown. Third and 3. Morris running the option, looking for a hole to run through. Now he's turning it around. He might be tripped up back at the 15, and he is. Levent Blaylock, number 2, the left cornerback.
Do not feature. I'm sure what to do with the ball right here.
Makes the mistake of turning back, trying to pick up some extra yardage. He needed to just sit down right there and take the short loss rather than the big loss. But that's, again, the inexperience of the young quarterback.
So now we'll get a field goal attempt from 33 yards out by John David Francis, and he continues his perfect afternoon of place kicking. His 3rd field goal. And that makes it 44-0 Gators with 3:23 to go in the 3rd quarter, and we'll be right back. Florida brings you the excitement of Major League Baseball all this week. On Monday night, the Orioles and the Yankees clash at 7:30. Tuesday night at 8:30, the White Sox take on the Rangers. Wednesday night, the Orioles face the Yankees again. On Thursday night, the Phillies take on the Mets at 7:30. And you can catch all the action right here on Sports Channel Florida, standard equipment for the Florida sports fan. And last drive, 7 plays, covered 39 yards. John David Francis accounting for the 3 points with his 3rd field goal of the afternoon to make it 44-0. And the Sycamores back to receive yet another kickoff. John Story at the 6. Out across the 20 to about the 22-yard line. Jerry Odom making the tackle for the Gators.
Pete, Bobby Raymond holds the school record for field goals in one game at 6. John David Francis having 3 at this point late in the third quarter. He might have a shot at another couple before the game's over.
He has been near perfect all year long for the Gators, missing on no extra point attempts, missing on just 1 field goal effort all year. And going into this season, that was kind of a gray area for the Gators. They weren't sure what kind of situation their kicking game would be in. So far, so good.
A lot of gray areas coming into the season, but all those questions are being answered to the satisfaction of the coaches to this point.
Vactor gets it out to the 29-yard line. Bill Lang making the stop.
Back to the ball carrier. Stop by Lang.
Some of those hard-working linemen. Richard Starweski.
David Williams. Just another pretty face.
There's that last drive. John David Francis from 32 yards for the 42nd, 3rd, and 4th Gator point of the afternoon. 2:50 remaining now in the third quarter.
Have you ever seen Starweski up close?
Yes, I have.
The guy is unbelievable. He looks like a Caucasian sumo wrestler.
Take 2 steps to your left before you go around him. Vactor again, the ball carrier. He'll get it out across the 30 to about the 32, shy of the first down by about a yard. Joey Nicoletto making the tackle.
I think that's one of the major differences between a Division I program and a Division I AA program. It's the quantity of the big guys on the field. The big schools just have more of them, and they just wear you down, and we're seeing that happen this afternoon.
So far in this game, Indiana State's been able to pick up only 5 first downs against the Gator defense.
104 yards in total offense here late in the third quarter for the Sycamores.
Torrey Vactor with 9 carries now for 45 yards. He has the ball here on 3rd and 1, and there is another outstanding tackle made by Joey Nicoletto. He spends more time behind the line of scrimmage than any other linebacker we've seen all year.
If Joey Nicoletto plays like this against the likes of LSU, Auburn, Georgia, Florida State, those kind of folks, he could be an All-American. He's played 3 terrific ball games for the University of Florida here early in 1988, and it's going to be interesting to watch how he plays for the remainder of the season, but my goodness, has he done the job to this point.
Rob Hufty, who if he had to pick a star of the game in this game for Indiana State, would have to be the one. He's delivered on his punts, an attempted block that time. Did not get off a good punt this time, but gets a good kick. And that ball's going to bounce inside the 35, keep rolling across the 30 now. It's going to wind up being an excellent kick all the way down to the 24-yard line. That was Jimmy Spencer that almost got his hands on it. A 46-yard kick, it turns out to be. And with 55 seconds remaining, it's 44-0 Gators. In the third quarter, we'll be right back.
If you have been unemployed for at least 15 out of the last 26 weeks and were available for work during the last 7 days but could not find employment, you may be eligible for the Job Training Partnership Act Dislocated Worker Program. Contact Pat Goss at Job Service of Florida in Gainesville, 336-2245, or come into the office at 315 Southeast 2nd Avenue. Income is not a criteria. Job Service of Florida is your tax-supported, no-fee employment agency. 336-2245.
This is that bar I was telling you about.
Cheers, weeknights at 7:30 on TV 20.
And Warren, Jim Yarborough back with you from Florida Field. 55 seconds to go, third quarter. Galen Hall's got to be happier about this game than any performance by his Gator team so far. It's been a complete football game for the Gators. They have dominated on both sides of the field. The freshman Willie McClendon in motion. Kyle Morris back to throw on first down, firing long downfield, and that pass caught by number 14, Ernie Mills. Lavent Blaylock brought him down, but not until Mills gained about 17 yards for another Gator first down.
Next to Stacy Simmons, Ernie Mills has the second fastest time of any Gator wide receiver. Just tremendous speed at the wide receiver position for the University of Florida this season. Those kids can get down the field in a hurry.
Morris now 14 out of 20 for 258 yards, and he has one touchdown pass in the afternoon. Willie McClendon, the freshman running back, who has electrified the Gator fans in his early outings, carries all the way inside the Indiana State 45 down to the 43-yard line.
I don't think the University of Florida has had freshmen like Willie McClendon and Dexter McNabb since John L. Williams and Neil Anderson were freshmen here at the University of Florida. These two kids get the fans excited. Look at the strength and power right there of McClendon from Jacksonville, Florida, University Christian High School.
That is the 20th first down of the game by the Gators. 1st and 10. They mark it at the Indiana State 43. Morris back to throw. Launching one long downfield. Touchdown! Willie Snead on the receiving end of this one. He beat Lavent Blaylock. And the Gators passed the half-century mark. This one covering 43 yards.
Morris on his way to that magic number for the quarterback, 300 yards passing. I believe he just got it, 301 yards this afternoon passing for Kyle Morris. On the button to Willie Snead running the post route. Beautiful play for the Gators.
Second touchdown pass of the afternoon for Kyle Morris. The other one went to Stacy Simmons for 77 yards. We got a penalty marker down. The kick is good. And we'll see who this flag is against.
Young quarterbacks like Kyle Morris have a great opportunity to put big numbers up in their statistics sheet when they have speed burners like Willie Snead, Ernie Mills, Stacy Simmons, Tony Lomack, guys that can get down the field in a hurry, and he delivered the football. All you got to do is throw it out there to those guys, and they run right under it.
It is 50-0. The penalty was against the Gators. They'll have to kick this one over from a little deeper. And the Gators have shown a little bit of everything here this afternoon. On that last possession, the first possession of the third quarter, they showed that they can run the football and consume time on the clock. When they've tried passing the ball, they've gone over 300 yards in the air now. So Francis will have to try it again at the 15-yard line. Doesn't seem to matter with him. He has been deadly all afternoon long. It is 51-0 Gators now with 14 seconds remaining. And here's another look at the touchdown pass to Snead.
Willie Snead coming from the bottom of your screen simply sprints down the field, breaks to the post. Kyle Morris waiting. A lot of protection up front by that Gator offensive line. And Morris just lets it fly. The safety is not able to get over and help his cornerback right there, and Willie Snead comes up with a big 6.
So it's now 51-0. The Sycamores perhaps have spent more time doing this all afternoon than they have anything else, waiting for kickoffs.
Very difficult experience for Indiana State, playing a very strong Southeastern Conference team like the University of Florida, having to come down and play in this heat and humidity. The Gators have been on a roll all afternoon. Indiana State never had a shot at the University of Florida on this Saturday afternoon.
Well, the confidence of this team will have to be sky high for Mississippi State after this one. Kyle Morris smiles all around.
Hassam Ishmael, number 77.
The boot by Francis is to Story at the 3-yard line. And Story gets out across the 20 and took a hard hit from Curtis White.
Brad Culpepper also on the tackle, and you don't see a nose guard very often with the speed sufficient enough to be on the kickoff team, but Brad Culpepper's out there on the kickoff team.
We have another Indiana State player down at about the 22-yard line.
Richard Staroweski, Hassam Ishmael, David Williams taking a well-deserved rest.
So the player being tended to down on the field. It gives us an opportunity to remind you to join Sports Channel Florida for Miami Hurricane football on Sunday, September 25th, 7 p.m. The Hurricanes face the Wisconsin Badgers. And you can catch all the action right here on Sports Channel Florida. Standard equipment for the Florida sports fan.
Miami had a great battle today with Michigan at Ann Arbor. 2 straight weekends, the Hurricanes battling Big Ten opponents.
We're trying to pick up who the injured player is for Indiana State. That is always a fear of smaller schools when they come in to play a team like a Florida. Montana State was really fearful of that when they came here 2 weeks ago. And Dennis Rates, with the conference schedule opening for him next week, was very concerned coming in. He does not want to lose any of his key people for their Division I AA opponents.
Well, we talked about the University of Florida having the luxury of substituting liberally 22 to 30 players on offense, 22 to 30 players on defense. You're talking about around 60 players. They're shuttling in and out of the ball game. Indiana State does not have that luxury. So consequently, a kid's on the field putting in a lot of minutes. The heat takes its toll. The opposition takes its toll. And you've got a greater chance of getting hurt.
That's the man that returned the kickoff, John Story, number 20. Looks like he's going to be all right. After the hit he took, you don't wonder why he stayed down for the length of time he did. Earlier in the game, Indiana State defensive back Don Cox was injured. Don't know whether he'll be able to return next week or not. Only 6 seconds to go in the third quarter. The Gators leading it now 51-0. Frondorf in at quarterback again for the Sycamores. This will be the final play of quarter number 3. That pass caught by number 37, Mark Syke, the fullback. He gets it out to about the 30-yard line, about 3 yards shy of the first down, and that's the final play of the third quarter. It's 51-0. Gators leading Indiana State. And let's leave this third quarter with this piece of Gator trivia. What former Gator quarterback holds the NCAA record for the longest touchdown pass? The answer after this.
These vinyl granules are the start of an extraordinary Armstrong process that results in a floor unlike any other. Designer Solarium. Its color isn't just printed on. That's for ordinary floors. This is the depth, richness, and lasting beauty of Designer Solarium. The only no-wax floor with a uniquely crafted look of inlaid color.
I always knew it was something special.
Armstrong, so nice to come home to.
Albert the Alligator here to tell you about balancing your diet. I like snacking on Seminoles and occasionally enjoy a bite of Bulldog, but neither are very nutritious, and that's why I drink milk. Milk is essential. It gives you calcium for strong bones and dazzling teeth like mine, and protein for strong muscles. So next time you're looking for a rejuvenating beverage, look no further. Take Albert's advice and drink milk. Dairy Farmers Incorporated, producers of real Florida fresh milk.
Sports Channel Florida is your ticket to the most University of Florida events. During the year, you'll see all the action of Gator football, basketball, and baseball. Plus, Sports Channel will bring you the best of Gator swimming, tennis, and gymnastics. Coverage you can't see anywhere else. You won't want to miss any of the exciting Gator action on Sports Channel Florida. Standard equipment for the Florida sports fan.
As we begin our fourth quarter, there's a look at that trivia question again. Which ex-Gator holds the NCAA record for the longest touchdown pass? This one will never be broken. Chris Collinsworth, 99 yards in the 1977 game against Rice.
You know, Chris Collinsworth was mad when they made him give up the quarterback position and play wide receiver. He was mad for one game. Then he realized that was his natural position. He went on to All-American status here at the University of Florida, high draft choice with the Cincinnati Bengals, and All-Pro status in Cincinnati with the Bengals right now. Chris Collinsworth throwing a 99-yard touchdown pass.
Kyle Frondorf in at quarterback. It is, well, let's see here. They've got a difficulty in marking this football. They had the football on the 30-yard line. The marker sideline marker was back at the 25, so they get that problem straightened out.
Is that what you call being asleep at the switch?
It's been a warm afternoon over on that sideline. The sun's been over there all afternoon.
That poor guy's been looking at the sun for the last 2.5 hours. He says, hey, give me a break, will you?
Now we're set to go. First down, make it second down, and about 2 at the 31-yard line. The handoff is to the fullback. And as they unpile, we'll see if he got enough for the first down. Number 31, Troy Karshner, in the game for the first time this afternoon. Did get enough for the first down. Only took 41 seconds. 453 yards in total offense now for the Gators in the afternoon. And we've still got a full quarter to go. It's first down at the 34-yard line. Frondorf back to throw. And the pass is caught and out of bounds. Goes number 82, Chris Johnson. His first reception of the afternoon. Curtis White back there in the coverage.
Johnson, a 3-year starter for the Sycamores. They have a lot of young men at the wide receiver position that they have confidence in.
Chris Johnson holds the single game record for yardage at Indiana State. In 1986, he caught 253 yards worth of passes in one game.
It's a big day's work, isn't it?
3 touchdowns. First down at their own 44-yard line. Frondorf almost didn't get rid of that ball in time. Tim Polk, boy, does he get through there in a hurry. He's the guy that's blocked 2 punts in the first 2 games.
This kid is so impressive. I believe he's going to work his way into more and more time out on the football field. He just makes big plays, makes things happen out there. Tim Polk, number 99. Where's Tim from? Let's see. He's from Miami, Carroll City High School. I wonder how he got out of Dade County.
Ray Wallace had that football take a convenient bounce for him. He was able to fall right on it, so Indiana State retains possession, second down and 12. Frondorf back to throw again. His receiver never saw it coming. Steve Elmlinger. The Ephesians partly back in the coverage for the Gators. And Dennis Rates Ball Club experiencing a long afternoon, something they were a little fearful about when they came here. They weren't going to sneak into Florida Field this time around, not after what happened back in 1983.
Now, that was a big disadvantage for Indiana State because the team that they brought down here in 1983 snuck up on the Gators and played so well. Galen Hall wasn't about to let that happen again.
Hand off to Ray Wallace. And a good gainer this time by Wallace, driven out of bounds after crossing midfield at the Gator 46. Curtis White, Kerry Watkins in on the tackle.
Right now, that Gator defense is thinking shutout. You know, they got a goose egg against Montana State, and that's a big number for the defensive staff. That's a big number for the kids that play defense. They want that goose egg to stay on the board. They don't want to give up any points to Indiana State, so that's what that defensive unit's thinking about right now. Don't give up any points.
That carry shy of the first down by about a foot, so it's 4th down and a foot now. Indiana State going for it this late in the game and with this kind of field position. And Frondorf handing off to Wallace again, and he should have the first down as he crosses the 45 to about the 44-yard line. Mark Murray in on the tackle along with Brad Culpepper. And it's a first down for Indiana State, only their 7th first down of the afternoon.
Let's take a look at Tim Polk, number 99, the young outside linebacker we've been bragging about. Had such a big game blocking a punt last week against Ole Miss. Reads the play, breaks to the ball, head up. Doesn't get any better than that. That kid will hit you.
First down for the Sycamores. They're at the Gator 43. Wallace again with a handoff. Losing the football. Big pile up there at the 37-yard line, but I think Indiana State got it back. They did. Falling on the football was number 31, Troy Karshner.
Draw action. Catches the Gators a bit flat-footed right here. Linebackers have dropped back a little bit into what they thought was pass protection coverage, but Indiana State runs the draw, almost gives up the football.
Curtis White almost came up with that loose ball, but Indiana State retains possession. Now the handoff is to number 41, Brent Fleming. And he's going to come up close to a first down. It is a first down.
Excellent effort by Fleming, the senior running back from Evansville, Indiana. Extra effort right there by Fleming. Picked up the first down.
Linebackers keep shuttling in and out. Pat Moore has just checked in. Jerry Odom heads for the sidelines. Kyle Frondorf, who has completed 4 out of 5, has a 1st and 10 at the Gator 32 with 11.5 minutes remaining in the game. 51-0, Gators lead it. Johnson on the receiving end inside the 30 to about the, falls ahead to about the 29-yard line. Curtis White making the tackle after a gain of about 4. So now it'll be 2nd down and about 7. Must be a very comfortable feeling for Galen Hall this stage of a ball game. Your team has played well on both sides of the field.
I don't see Galen chewing his fingernails to the extent that he usually does. I think he's eased up on the fingernails with a 51-0 lead.
That's part of the diet. Frondorf back to throw, picked up, and an open field is there for Mark Murray. He's going to go all the way for the touchdown. Mark Murray. .72 yards with the interception to make it 57-0.
Mark Murray, the sophomore linebacker, he was playing on the inside. Now he's been moved to the outside from Zellwood, Florida, a suburb of Orlando, near Apopka. The dream of a lifetime for a linebacker is to pick the ball off in the open field, and Tim Paulk, number 99, was the guy putting pressure on the quarterback, made him give the ball up. Mark Murray sprints in for the touchdown. We'll be generous and say he sprinted.
Linebackers love to hear that. Still a lot of time left, 10:31, and Mark Murray getting the glad hand on the Gators sideline after a 72-yard return with a pass interception. Well, a little bit of everything in this game for the Gators. 2 long touchdown passes, one to Stacy Simmons, one to Willie Snead. Emmitt Smith has gone over the 100-yard mark for the 3rd straight game this year, the 6th straight game overall dating back to last year.
Cal Morris gets a 300-yard game passing the football. Gator defense plays well.
John David Francis, a perfect afternoon kicking the football. He has kicked 3 field goals, and this will be his 6th extra point attempt, and it is good. So there's the latest Gator hero in the afternoon with 10:31 remaining. 58-0 Gators. We'll be right back.
I've told you, American Pride will make your home more enjoyable. Now let me show you. American Pride builds Florida's finest custom patios, pool enclosures, screen rooms, and Florida room additions. Haven't you waited long enough? Call American Pride today. American Pride. Don't stay home without it.
Public notice. 7-day furniture disposal. East Coast Furniture. Truckloads of brand new furniture. Every piece still in factory container. Unheard of prices. Living room suits, $188. Bedroom suits, $138. Dinette sets and bunk beds, $78. Mattress sets, $38 each piece. And much, much more. Come in early to ensure best selection. Only at East Coast Furniture, 1140 East University Avenue, next to the Iron Horse Restaurant.
Hero Tim Paulk, the unsung hero, putting tremendous pressure on the quarterback right here from his inside linebacker position. We're talking about the speed that Paulk has, making the quarterback give the ball up a little early. Mark Murray jumps up into the air, bats it into the air, and still catches the ball. Showing excellent hands, nice speed. Not a Sycamore on the screen. Murray's thinking about celebrating right now at the 10-yard line. Dancing into the end zone.
We talked about the depth in Galen Hall's linebacking core this year. That's shown here this afternoon by the variety of tacklers in various plays, and also the 3 interceptions for the Gators, 3 different linebackers, Nicoletto, Bartriff, and Murray. Murray is going all the way back for a touchdown. Blaylock at about the 2-yard line. Out across the 20 to about the 24. And that's where the Sycamores will put this one in play. Jerry Odom again making the tackle. 22-yard return.
I think the only position where the Gators have not shown depth this afternoon is at the place-kicking position. John David Francis is the only guy that's had a chance. Every other position on the field, they keep putting excellent ball players out there.
Well, that was a big question mark about this Gator team going into the season, how deep it would be at various positions. But as these early season games have gone on, so many people getting a chance to play so many minutes, that when the schedule toughens up, the depth factor may not be such a big problem. The handoff is to Wallace, and boy, there are some hits going on out there. Tim Polk again, number 99.
Unbelievable. The kid's just all over the field. That's what you call having a nose for the ball. You know, he just finds that football and then knocks you down.
Gain of about a yard. 2nd down and 9. Gators have picked up 453 yards in total offense on the afternoon and have held the Sycamores to 152 total yards. Frondorf rolling left, firing long downfield. The pass is caught out at the 37-yard line by number 85, Darrell Ramsey, little 5'7" wide receiver out of Indianapolis, who has just checked into the lineup.
Gators playing a little soft right now in the secondary. They're willing to give up that short pass. They just don't want any of the Indiana State wide receivers to get deep downfield, but they'll give up the short pass right now with this big lead.
Indiana State starting to bring in some people now. Haven't seen any game action this afternoon. That man has, though. Ray Wallace, stopped by Stephen Mack. And on that Gator bench, a lot of things to talk about, a lot of good things to talk about here this afternoon. Kyle Morris over 300 yards passing. And that 58-0 lead looking mighty good to Gator fans with 8:44 remaining. Second down and 7. Frondorf rolls right down. He goes. Guess who? He's been there ever since he's been in the game. Tim Polk getting credit for the sack.
Well, we keep talking about the young inside linebacker, the freshman from Miami Carroll City, just all over the field. He played this well last week as well. He's bidding for more and more playing time with every effort that he makes on the field.
That is the 4th quarterback sack of the afternoon by the Gator defense. It's now 3rd down and about 16 yards to go for the first down at the Sycamore 30. This is Willie Wilson seeing his first game action, being driven out of bounds over on that Indiana State sideline at about the 32-yard line.
Greg Baldwin, number 51, seeing action, the junior from Fillmore, California. Not had a chance to play much this season, but doing a nice job at inside linebacker.
So Rob Hufty will have to check back in to kick it away on 4th and long. Stacy Simmons going to try to run this one back. Stacy, a big play man in each game so far. In today's game, it was a 77-yard touchdown pass from Morris in the first quarter. He is standing at about his own 30. Hufty gets away another good kick. He's done a good job for Indiana State. At the 28-yard line, Stacy Simmons breaks one tackle, eludes another, but then is swarmed under at about the 33-yard line. It's a 40-yard kick, about a 4-yard return. And we've got a timeout with 7:26 remaining in the game. There's your score, and we'll be right back.
By the time you reach 50, First Union believes you're entitled to a few privileges.
With our benefit banking program, we guarantee the service.
You guarantee what?
We guarantee the service.
Benefit banking begins at 50, with discounts, bonuses, and guaranteed service.
And if we're not completely satisfied, we'll refund any service charges.
Benefit banking from First Union. The service is guaranteed. And that's new banking power for you.
The door to this bathroom entrance. Okay, great. You know, I've been building homes in Florida for almost 2 decades. And 20 years have taught me something most people in my business already know. Get the right supplies at the right price. And that means shopping at Scotty's. Fact is, Scotty's is Florida's largest supplier to builders and contractors. So if top quality and low prices are important to you, go to Scotty's. Hey, it's my business, but it's your home.
First and 10 for the Gators. Herbert Perry in now at quarterback. Dexter McNabb and Willie McClendon, the running backs, the freshman tandem. This is McClendon, number 5, getting out across the 35 to about the 38-yard line. LaVent Blaylock in on the tackle for Indiana State, along with Glenn Scrippen. It'll be 2nd down and 4. Herbert Perry hands off to Dexter McNabb, and McNabb has a first down out at the 45-yard line.
Pete, the University of Florida has their second team offensive tackles in the game together right now. But listen to this. Brad Hatcher is 6'4", 282, and Jason McClellan, number 74, is 6'5", 310.
Indiana State bringing in some of their backup defensive linemen who have some size too, but they're about 20 pounds lighter to a man.
Well, and that, again, that's what we were talking about. That's a standard difference between a Division I program and a Division I AA program. They just don't have the size and depth that the big schools do.
Willie McClendon out toward midfield. LaVent Blaylock gets his hands on him, and he still picked up 4 more yards. A 9-yard gain before Blaylock finally brought him down. And there again is an instance of size, Jim. LaVent, who is only 5'8", 170 pounds, just unable to handle McClendon.
Yeah, it's no reflection on the effort at all. Both sides of the line of scrimmage, the kids are making the effort, but Florida just has more size, more speed, and it shows clearly, especially in the 4th quarter.
McClendon now 3 carries for 29 yards. He's 6 feet, 214 pounds, so he outweighs Blaylock by nearly 40 pounds. 2nd down and 1. 6:18 the time remaining. Perry changing the call at the line, back to throw. The pass is complete. On the receiving end, Tracy Ellis.
You want to say Ricky Natil, you see that number 89. Of course, Ricky Natil, last year a rookie at Denver, wore that number so well for the University of Florida. Now he's a standout wide receiver catching passes from John Elway. Tracy Ellis not seen much action in his career, but he is a senior from Tallahassee.
Now Jeff Day is checked in at tight end. As you see the numbers on Willie McClendon, it's another Gator first down. 5:55 remaining. They're at the Indiana State 37-yard line. McClendon unable to find much running room that time. Got only to about the 35-yard line. And after a 2-yard gain, it'll be 2nd down and 8. The Gators approaching 500 yards on the afternoon. They need only 17 more yards. Second down, 8. McClendon gets the pitch. And look at that strength up to the 30-yard line. He was initially hit back at about the 33-yard line by Jeff Probst. And Probst is no tiny guy. He's 6'2", 222. And McClendon bowled his way for about 3 more yards. It'll be 3rd and about 3.
Mark Bertram, also number 68, trying to bring down the running back to no avail.
So 3rd and 3 now at the Sycamore 30. Clock continues to move. 4:39. 490 yards total offense now for the Gators on the afternoon. Dexter McNabb, the fullback. Looked like he got enough for the first down. Down to about the 27, 26, 27-yard line. Clint Davis in the lineup for the first time for Indiana State, making the tackle. Davis, an inside linebacker. He's a freshman out of Seymour, Indiana. It is a first down. And let's go down to the field now, Larry Patel.
Okay, Pete, you know, as the Gators wind down this game with the Big Mac attack, pricking up the yards, it's obvious Florida's gotten another big victory, but I think they got a lot more today. And what they got today was some message that they're going to send to defensive coordinators throughout the Southeastern Conference. Kyle Morris can throw, Kyle Morris can go deep. And with 300-plus yards in the passing game, it's not just Emmett left, Emmett right, and Emmett up the middle.
Mark Bertram making the stop, but we've got a penalty call against the Gators on the carry by McNabb, a holding penalty against Florida.
Larry Vittel makes an excellent point. That's one thing Lynn Amity and Galen Hall, the whole Gator coaching staff, wanted to do, especially on offense, is give those other teams in the Southeastern Conference something to think about, giving them something to worry about, and they've got plenty to worry about now in trying to shut down a multiple Gator offense.
There's the call against the Gators, holding. And this one will be walked back to the 36-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 20. It's only the 3rd penalty of the afternoon. I know Galen Hall is never happy about any penalty, but the number of penalties way down today from what they were last week against Ole Miss.
About a third. I think they were close to 9 or 10 penalties in each of their first 2 ball games, I believe.
Perry on 1st and 20, giving to the fullback Dexter McNabb. They're over 500 yards total offense for the afternoon now as McNabb gets it all the way down to the 20-yard line. Tom Werner, number 23, finally brought him down.
Big Dexter McNabb, the fullback, gets a chance to run the ball. A little bit of a draw action right here. Plenty of room up front, and when he gets going...
There you see his effort for the afternoon. Everybody that's in there is going to come out of this game with pretty good numbers. Just a little over 3 minutes to go now. It's 2nd down and about 5 yards to go for the first down. Willie McClendon inside the 20, inside the 15, down to the 11-yard line. First down again for the Gators. Eric Christensen in on the stop along with Solomon Emerson.
John L. Williams had such a great career here at the University of Florida blocking for Neil Anderson and Lorenzo Hampton. And right here you see McNabb doing the same for McClendon. Dexter McNabb, number 21, an excellent runner, but more importantly, a great blocker for his talented tailback.
1st and 10 at the 11-yard line. Herbert Perry engineering this drive. Handing the ball to McClendon. McClendon got about a yard on that carry. He was tripped up as he got to the line of scrimmage by Jeff Probst, number 93. So it'll be 2nd down. .519 yards in total offense for the Gators on the afternoon. They lead at 58-0. They're driving for more as we approach the 2 minutes remaining mark in this game. The pitch is to McClendon. McClendon inside the 10, and Probst hit him again, number 93. He's had a pretty good day for Indiana State. Tough to pick out anybody defensively on a team that's trailing 58-0 and say they had a good day, but he's been in on a lot of tackles for the Sycamores.
Cal Dixon seeing some action at the center position, number 59. He's a freshman. He's only 6'4", 264. 3rd string center.
Where do they grow these kids these days?
I have no idea.
They get bigger and bigger, and not only bigger, but quicker and stronger. 3rd down, about 8 yards to go for the first down. The ball on the Indiana State 9. Perry giving to McNabb. McNabb is caught in the backfield and dropped for a loss back at the 14-yard line. Again, Jeff Probst, number 93, was in there along with Scott Foster, number 46.
Foster really making a nice hit right there, 6'2", 210. Sycamore must have been an Indian tribe or something. I know it's a tree, but
A lot of Indian names come out of the upper Midwest.
Oh, we got some Indians here in Florida called Seminoles, and we know all about those folks, too.
Yes, we do. They're going for it on 4th down here. It's 4th and 11 for the first down. About 12 yards to go for the touchdown, and we've got a whistle.
And I think what the Gators are obviously trying to do is let the clock run out, and that time they got a little too slow in getting the play off, but they don't want to put any more points on the board. They're running their offense. They're doing it the best they can when the ball is snapped, but they're not in any hurry to get multiple plays off, try to put more points on the board, and that's to Galen Hall's credit. He doesn't want to run the score up anymore.
The clock is only showing 31 seconds to go now.
But at the same time, every time that ball is snapped, they do expect those kids to go 110%. You know, there's no lack of effort once the ball's snapped. They're just trying to slow things down a little bit.
So the delay penalty moves it back to the 17. And here's the 4th down play. Perry pitching to number 33, Kenny Stevens. And Kenny Stevens stopped at the 16-yard line, so Indiana State will get the ball one more time, and we'll be back with the closing moments of this game right after this.
Go behind the scenes of Gator football. Florida Football Highlights with Galen Hall takes you there every week. Catch all the highlights. Hard-hitting Gator football. Comments from Coach Hall and the players. Weekly features. Plus, a look at upcoming opponents. It's the best of Gator football each week on Florida Football Highlights with Galen Hall. Sundays at noon, right here on TV 20. Tuned to you.
We Southerners have always been known for a certain degree of elegance in our homes. So when Rhett suggested a manufactured home, I had my doubts. But not since we found this award home. It had everything we were looking for. Cedar siding, a whirlpool tub, and room for all the relatives. The kitchen turned out so spacious and beautiful, I might even learn how to cook. So, if you're looking for your own terror, stop by Ward Homes in Ocala. Frankly, I know you'll love it.
Only 19 seconds to go in the ball game. The Gators with a very proud afternoon of football. Every aspect of the game has looked good. They lead at 58-0. Indiana State will come out for one final possession, maybe a play, maybe two. But they will leave Gainesville with full respect for this Florida Gator program. The ball carrier for Indiana State was Willie Wilson, number 44. He didn't get very far. Greg Baldwin making the stop, and that should do it. As the clock ticks down. And the ball game is over. A very impressive outing for the Florida Gators. True, the opposition was not a Division I school, but the Gators, looking for some things in this game, I think got every question they had answered. The final score, as you see the congratulatory handshakes going all around here at Florida Field, the Gators 58 and the Sycamores from Indiana State nothing. And we'll be back with a closing note right after this.
This is Galen Hall. No other channel brings you more Gator sports events than Sports Channel Florida. That's why Sports Channel Florida is standard equipment for Florida sports fans.
Sports Channel Florida is your ticket to the most University of Florida events. During the year, you'll see all the action of Gator football, basketball, and baseball. Plus, Sports Channel will bring you the best of Gator swimming, tennis, and gymnastics. Coverage you can't see anywhere else. You won't want to miss any of the exciting Gator action on Sports Channel Florida. Standard equipment for the Florida sports fan.